72 hours. That's all it took for one American president to steal an entire country. November 3, 1903, President Theodore Roosevelt wants a canal connecting the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans. One problem: the best route cuts through Panama, which belongs to Colombia. When Colombian senators reject his treaty, Roosevelt's response reveals just how far he'll go. This is the story of how an American president engineered a revolution, manipulated a nation into existence, and stole land to build an empire. Latin Americans call it theft. Roosevelt called it destiny. The dream of a canal is centuries old. In 1513, Spanish explorer Balboa crosses Panama and sees the Pacific. This narrow strip, barely 50 miles wide, is all that separates oceans. Cut through it, and ships avoid months sailing around South America's tip. The French try first in 1880. Ferdinand de Lesseps, who built the Suez Canal, arrives with grand plans. He estimates $132 million, 12 years. He's catastrophically wrong. Yellow fever and malaria kill 20,000 workers. The jungle devours machinery. Mountains prove impossible. The French go spectacularly bankrupt in 1889. Everyone agrees, Panama has defeated European ambition. The canal is impossible. Everyone except Theodore Roosevelt. September 1901, an anarchist's bullet makes Roosevelt president at 42. He's the youngest president ever, bursting with visions for America's global role. One vision dominates: the Panama Canal must be built, and America must build it. His reasons are strategic, economic, and personal. Strategically, a canal lets the Navy move ships rapidly between oceans. Economically, it revolutionizes global trade. Personally, Roosevelt needs a legacy achievement to cement his place in history alongside the greatest presidents. The canal becomes an obsession. Roosevelt appoints a commission to study routes: Nicaragua, Panama. After intense lobbying by Philippe Brunel-Varia, a French engineer owning shares in the defunct French company, Roosevelt decides Panama. Just one small problem: Panama belongs to Colombia. January 1903, Secretary of State John Hay begins negotiations with Colombian representatives. America's terms: lease a 6-mile strip across Panama, essentially forever, for $10 million plus annual payments. Colombia would grant complete sovereignty as if it were American territory. Colombia desperately needs money after years of civil war. A treaty is signed. Roosevelt assumes Colombian Senate ratification is a formality. He begins planning construction, assembling engineers, calculating timelines. Then, in August 1903, the Colombian Senate unanimously rejects the treaty. Every single senator votes no. Their objections are numerous and passionate. The financial terms inadequately compensate Colombia. The perpetual lease unacceptably surrenders sovereignty. The treaty grants America too much control. Some senators suspect Roosevelt deliberately undervalues the concession. They feel insulted, manipulated, exploited. Theodore Roosevelt's rage is volcanic. In private meetings, he calls the senators contemptible little creatures, inefficient bandits, foolish and homicidal corruptionists, and jackrabbits. Dealing with Colombia, he tells John Hay, is like trying to nail currant jelly to the wall. Roosevelt's view is simple and chilling. Colombia is standing in the way of progress, civilization, and American destiny. Colombia must be swept aside. Roosevelt considers options: negotiate better terms? Weak. Pursue Nicaragua? Inferior. Simply invade? Too obvious. He needs plausible deniability. Then opportunity presents itself: Panamanian separatists. Panama has rebelled against Colombian rule multiple times. With the Canal Treaty rejected and American money slipping away, Panamanian business interests begin planning another uprising. They need assurance the United States won't let Colombia crush this rebellion like all the others. Philippe Brunel-Varia becomes the intermediary, shuttling between Panamanian conspirators and Roosevelt administration officials. The plan: Panama declares independence, the United States immediately recognizes them, American warships prevent Colombia from suppressing the rebellion, and grateful Panama grants America the canal rights Colombia refused. Roosevelt never explicitly approves. He doesn't have to. His actions speak louder. October 30th, 1903. Roosevelt orders the USS Nashville to Panama's coast. Other warships receive similar orders. Official mission: protect American interests. Real purpose: ensure the rebellion succeeds. November 2nd, the Nashville arrives at Cologne. Commander Hubbard has explicit orders: prevent Colombian troops from using the Panama Railroad, but claiming neutrality. November 3rd at 6 p.m., the revolution begins in Panama City. It's almost bloodless. A small group declares Panama's independence. They bribe Colombian officers to stand down. The entire battle lasts a few hours with virtually no violence. Colombian authorities immediately order 500 troops to suppress the uprising, but when they attempt to land at Cologne on November 4th, American naval officers block them. Hubbard refuses to allow Colombian forces to use the railroad, claiming neutrality. General Tawar, commanding Colombian troops, is furious. By what right are American officers preventing Colombia from putting down a rebellion in Colombian territory? Hubbard offers polite refusals. The troops cannot land. The rebellion cannot be stopped. Thank you so much for staying with us through these 3 videos. You're discovering the brutal truths about American power that textbooks hide. And trust us, the best is yet to come. The next chapter reveals Roosevelt's daughter's 96-year rebellion, smoking on the White House roof, carrying snakes, shocking Victorian America. The daughter Theodore abandoned spent nearly a century demanding the attention he couldn't give. Click now and subscribe for the complete, untold story of American power. The timing and coordination make American involvement undeniable. Warships arrived before the revolution started. Officers knew exactly when and where to position themselves. The prevention of Colombian troop movements was too precise to be coincidental. November 2nd, just 3 days after Panama declares independence, before any other nation recognizes them, while Colombia still insists Panama is in rebellion, the United States officially recognizes the Republic of Panama. The speed is breathtaking and revealing. November 18th, 15 days after the revolution, the United States and Panama sign a canal treaty. Bunalvaria represents Panama, though actual Panamanian leaders barely have time to review terms before signing. The treaty gives America everything and more. The zone widens from 6 to 10 miles. The United States receives complete sovereignty as if it were the sovereign, with rights to fortify and defend. American control is granted in perpetuity, forever. The United States also receives the right to intervene anywhere in Panama to maintain order. Financial terms? Identical to what Colombia rejected: $10 million plus annual payments of $250,000. Secretary Hay later privately observes the treaty is vastly advantageous to the United States and not so advantageous to Panama. Understatement. Roosevelt's critics are outraged. Newspapers denounce the president's actions as violating international law. Political opponents call it imperialism and theft. Latin American nations watch with alarm as the United States demonstrates its willingness to reshape hemispheric geography according to American interests. Roosevelt's response is unapologetic defiance. He declares, "I took the Canal Zone and let Congress debate," privately. Publicly, he insists America acted righteously to advance civilization and progress. But everyone knows the truth. The United States engineered Panama's independence to acquire canal land. Roosevelt used American military power to prevent Colombia from defending its territorial integrity. The revolution was manufactured and protected by American warships. Construction begins in 1904. 10 years, $400 million, 5,000 dead workers. Later, the Panama Canal opens in August 1914. It's hailed as one of history's greatest engineering achievements, but the cost extends far beyond construction. In December 1904, Roosevelt announces the Roosevelt Corollary to the Monroe Doctrine, declaring America the policeman of the Western Hemisphere. This doctrine justifies American military interventions for decades in Cuba, Nicaragua, Haiti, the Dominican Republic, Mexico. The resentment generated poisons U.S.-Latin American relations for generations. Not until 1921, 2 years after Roosevelt's death, does the United States pay Colombia $25 million, officially for canal rights, universally understood as compensation for taking Panama. Roosevelt never expresses regret. He views the Panama Canal as his crowning achievement, but the questions, never adequately answered, haunt his legacy. Did the canal's value justify engineering a revolution and destroying a nation's territorial integrity? Can ends ever truly justify means? The man who destroyed his brother, who buried his wife's memory, now destroyed a nation's sovereignty to achieve his vision. The ruthlessness that characterized Roosevelt's personal life extended seamlessly into foreign policy, and that ruthlessness came full circle in his relationship with his own daughter. In the next video, we reveal Alice Roosevelt's 96-year rebellion, smoking on the White House roof, carrying snakes, shocking Victorian America. The daughter Theodore abandoned spent nearly a century demanding the attention he couldn't give. Click now and subscribe for the complete, untold story of American power.